Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for coming to our class. And today we'll do the lesson 2, part 2 of Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish, Steve Jobs. And my background, guess where this is? Guess what this is, where this is? Yeah, this background is really related to our topic, our lesson. Okay. Yep, this is Stanford University, one of the best universities in the world. I think it's number 2 or 3 of the university rankings of the world. Yeah, super smart, super genius people here. And I have been here, then I've seen students there, and I have eaten lunch on the campus. And it's really beautiful, and the land is huge. Okay, the campus is really huge, so students have to ride their bicycles, okay, to go to class because it's too big, right? You cannot walk. You can walk, but it takes like so long. So they have a bus inside the campus, or like you take bikes. Okay, so Ante, do you know anything about Stanford? Do you have any idea, or what's the impression of Stanford?
I've never visited there, but my impression is, like we've said, it's one of the best universities in the world. And yeah, I confused it with Harvard because it sounds the same, Stanford, Harvard, but yeah, this is West Coast.
It's West Coast.
And Harvard is East Coast. So that's something I learned today.
Okay, so let's start. The part 2 about calligraphy. And I like your background, Ante.
Yeah.
What is it?
It is calligraphy.
Calligraphy. I think students have experienced at the British Hills if you're from Fuji Junior High. Yeah, they've all done the calligraphy lesson. Okay, all right, so why don't we start from the new words as usual. Okay, here's the worksheet. Let's go. And we're doing part 2. Yeah, lots of new words, and some of them are very tough. Okay, let's go.
Okay, I'll start. Calligraphy.
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 Serif.
Serif.
Sans serif.
Sans serif.
Typeface.
Typeface.
Vary.
Vary.
Combination.
Combination.
Typography.
Typography.
Historical.
Historical.
Artistically.
Artistically.
Subtle.
Subtle. This is kind of tough. Could you repeat it again?
Subtle.
Subtle. So you don't sound B.
Yeah, the B is subtle.
Yeah, B is subtle. Okay.
I'll continue. Fascinating.
Fascinating.
None.
None.
Practical.
Practical.
Mac.
Mac.
Personal.
Personal.
Backwards.
Backwards. I think there's one more.
Is there?
Trust.
Trust.
Trust. All right, thank you. And why don't we go over the words which are kind of confusing. Okay, what's serif, Ante?
So serif is a type of font. So how can I explain it? So serif is, where's the answer? The definition. So can you see on even the words written on this worksheet? So if you look at the word serif, at the bottom of the F, there's like a flat line. So this kind of styling is called serif, where little line.
So let's see if I can write it. Hold on. Okay, serif is, look at this, like a, little line on the bottom or on the top right here, serif. See, these like the line, these are called serif. ちょっと説明入れます。セリフって何かっていうとね、このね、字の下とかさ、上とかにある、なんか L だったら、こう、例えば Y ね、Y だったら Y こうだけど、こうなって、Y とかね、で、ここに当たる部分、こういうものをね、セリフという。ね。という、だから、書体というかね、そういうものの、この部分をセリフと言うんですよということね。私も知りませんでした、これ。Okay, serif's done. Okay, next, what's sans serif?
So if you look at the top of this table, the words, meaning, definition, these are examples of sans serif. So they do not have serif. They do not have these little style lines.
So
means without or no.
Okay, so sans serif というのはそれがない版だよね。あるものが serif、ないものが sans serif。あとこれ気になったと思うけど、日本語で言うセリフ、ね、俳優がセリフを覚えるとか、そのセリフ、あれ一切関係ありませんので、全く違うものです。セリフっていうのはもうほぼ和製英語のようなもので、英語でもありませんので、ちなみに俳優たちが言うセリフのことは line と言います。line。ね、memorize the lines、ね。ここでのセリフっていうのは、セリフとは全く違うよと。ね。Alright, and what else? How about subtle? Okay, subtle. So, Ante, what does subtle mean?
So subtle means like you can't really see it or hear it. It's quite, it's there, but you don't really notice it. It's hard to notice.
So, ここでサローっていうのは多分ね、繊細という、これは正解なんだけど、繊細なって出てくるが、サローってどういうことかっていうと、繊細として使われるよりも、微妙なとかね、あんまりはっきりしない、ね、見分けがつかないとか、微妙なはっきりしない、そういう時にサローという。でよく使われるのは、You should be more subtle とかね、try to be more subtleとかでよく使われます。どういう意味だと思いますか？ What do you think? You should be more subtle. Try to be more subtle. So when do people use this like a phrases, Ante?
An example is like if you really want someone to do something, if you're being too maybe direct or obvious about it, like do this now, like maybe be a bit more subtle, like, oh, could you, like a bit more gentle, like, oh, could you please, blah, blah, blah. That's one example.
Yeah. And also another example is like, oh, we're going to have a surprise birthday party, so we should be more subtle. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah. はい。ということでね、あんまり気づかれないように振る舞った方がいいよとかね、もうちょっと、はっきりせずに、曖昧に振る舞った方がいいよ。最初アンテ先生言ってたのが、すごく強い言い方したけど、そんな強い言い方じゃなくて、Could you be more subtle? って言ったら、もうちょっと柔らかく、なんかもうちょっとね、なんていうの？曖昧な言い方っていうか、ちょっと柔らかい言い方してね、という言い方と、あとは、surprising party ね、we are having a birthday party and it's a surprise party ね、we should be subtle, we should be more subtle. That means ね、っていうのはね、気づかれないように、もっとね、バレないように、気づかれないようにした方がいいよっていう時によく使われます。Try to be more subtle. You should be more subtle. これよく聞きます。Okay. Alright, subtle's finished. And that's probably it. Okay. Alright, now then, let's go on to the reading. Okay. I know it's kind of, boring or maybe, not fun, but like, I know like you are studying at home and you have no chance to speak out. So it's very important to speak out English because this is a language. You cannot learn, or you cannot gain the skill of language without speaking, without like speaking or saying aloud. Okay, so we have to read aloud. That's very important. All right, so we're gonna do 4 rounds again, as usual. Okay, I will follow you first, Ante. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. I decided to take a calligraphy class.
Wait, hold on. One more time, please.
I decided to take a calligraphy class.
I decided to take a calligraphy class.
I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces.
I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces.
About varying the amount of space.
About varying the amount of space.
Between different letter combinations.
Between different letter combinations.
About what makes great typography great.
About what makes great typography great.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Historical.
Historical.
And artistically subtle.
And artistically subtle.
In a way that science can't explain.
In a way that science can't explain.
I found it fascinating.
I found it fascinating.
None of this had even a hope.
None of this had even a hope.
Of any practical use.
Of any practical use.
In my life.
In my life.
But 10 years later.
But 10 years later.
When we were designing the first Macintosh computer.
When we were designing the first Macintosh computer.
It all came back to me.
It all came back to me.
And we designed it all into the Mac.
And we designed it all into the Mac.
If I had never dropped out.
If I had never dropped out.
I would have never dropped in on.
I would have never dropped in on.
That calligraphy class.
Oh, that calligraphy class.
And personal computers would not have the wonderful typography.
And personal computers would not have the wonderful typography.
That they do.
That they do.
You can't connect the dots.
You can't connect the dots.
Looking forward.
Looking forward.
You can only connect them.
You can only connect them.
Looking backwards.
Looking backwards.
So you have to trust.
So you have to trust.
That the dots will somehow connect.
That the dots will somehow connect.
In your future.
In your future. All right, so let's go to the second round with the double speed. And I will mute. Okay, let's go.
I decided to take a calligraphy class. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces. About varying the amount of space between different letter combinations. About what makes great typography great. It was beautiful, historical, and artistically subtle. In a way that science can't explain. I found it fascinating. None of this had even a hope of any practical use in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me. And we designed it all into the Mac. If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers would not have the wonderful typography that they do. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future.
All right, so now third time we're gonna do shadowing. Okay, students, you will look at Ante's face and you will shadow, okay? So Ante, could you read without pause so we can shadow?
Yes, let me see. Okay, ready? Let's start. I decided to take a calligraphy class. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about varying the amount of space between different letter combinations, about what makes great typography great. It was beautiful, historical, and artistically subtle in a way that science can't explain. I found it fascinating. None of this had even a hope of any practical use in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me, and we designed it all into the Mac. If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers would not have the wonderful typography that they do. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future.
All right, thank you very much. And lastly, this time I didn't forget. All right, so we'll do the sight translation. Okay, we'll read the Japanese, so you will read the line in English, and hopefully you will record your voice and listen to it later on, then practice, okay? Again and again. All right, ready? Let's go. 私はカリグラフィーの授業を受けることにしました。セリフやサンセリフなどの字体について学びました。時間を変えることについて、異なる文字の組み合わせの間の素晴らしい印刷デザインは何が素晴らしいのかについて、それは美しいものでした。歴史がある。そして芸術的に繊細な。科学では説明できない手法で、私は魅了されました。このどれもが見込みはありませんでした。実際に役立つ。私の人生において。しかし10年後、私たちが最初のマッキントッシュコンピューターを設計していたときに、それがすべて私によみがえってきたのです。 そして私たちはそれをすべて Mac に組み込むよう設計しました。もし私が中退していなければ、立ち寄らなかったでしょう。このカリグラフィーの授業に。そしてパソコンには素晴らしい印刷デザインは入っていないでしょう。今あるような。点と点をつなぐことはできません。将来を見据えて。何々にしか点はつなげないのです。過去を振り返って。だから信じなければいけません。その点がどうにかしてつながることを。将来。Okay. All right, that's it. And I hope you record yourself. Okay, please listen to it later on. Now, let me share the worksheet. Here we go. Read University. Okay, Ante, let's start from the A.
Okay, let's go. So part 2, part A, choose the correct title. So the correct title for paragraph E, hang on, let me get my answer sheet, answer. Okay, the correct title for paragraph 3 is D. The D is learning about typography. And for paragraph 4, the correct answer is B. Dots will connect. So why is A not the correct title? The first Mac. So yes, in paragraph 4, they do talk about the first Mac computer, but the overall theme of paragraph 4 is about connecting the dots. So yeah, it's not as good an option as B for paragraph 4. And then the same situation is for letter C. So in paragraph 3, we do read about C, what makes great letter combinations, but D is a better sort of title for paragraph 3. Okay, so 3 is D and 4 is B. Next, we'll do part B. Answer true or false. Number 1, Steve Jobs became interested in calligraphy because of its modern beauty. So this is false. So why is it false? So the problem with this sentence is the word modern. So modern means current now, but when he's talking about calligraphy, he talks about how it is historical. He likes its historical beauty. So yes, 1 is false. B2, Steve Jobs found calligraphy fascinating because it has something in common with science. So B2 is false. So why is it false? So he says that it is beautiful, historical, and artistically subtle in a way that science can't explain. So it doesn't have something in common with science. It's different. It's so different that science can't explain it. So B2 is false. B3, Beautiful typefaces were used in the first Macintosh computer. So B3 is true. This is true. Next, let's check C. Choose the 2 correct sentences. So the first correct sentence is sentence number 1. In calligraphy, different combinations of letters require different amounts of space. So this is true. He talks about that in paragraph 3. And the second correct sentence is sentence number 5. According to Steve Jobs, dots you gather in the past will somehow connect in the future. So he says this in the last sentence of paragraph 4. So the correct sentences are number 1 and number 5. So why is 2 incorrect? So 2 says Steve Jobs thought that knowledge of calligraphy might help him in the future. But actually he said that at the beginning of paragraph 4, he said none of this had even a hope of any practical use in his life. So at that time, he thought that learning about calligraphy was not useful, that it wouldn't help him. Okay, so C2 is incorrect. C3, Steve Jobs said his joining the calligraphy class had no practical use after all. So this is wrong because actually at the end of paragraph 4, or in the middle, he says that he realizes that he could use the calligraphy knowledge that he got in the first Mac computer. So it did have a practical use after all. So 3 is incorrect. And C4, the sentence says, Steve Jobs told students to study what they think might be useful in the future. So if you look over paragraph 3 and paragraph 4, it doesn't say anywhere that he tells you to study what you might think will be useful in the future. So 4 is just incorrect for that reason. He doesn't say this in his speech. Okay, let's move to part D. Choose the correct answer. D1, according to paragraph 3, Steve Jobs something something. So the answer for D1 is B. Found calligraphy has something that cannot be explained by science. And D2, according to paragraph 4, Steve Jobs told the graduates something something. The answer for D2 is C. To believe that things you will learn will come together in the future. And finally, let's check part E, answer in English. The E1, what class did Steve take after he dropped out? So the answer is calligraphy. Calligraphy, or he took a calligraphy class. E2, why did Steve find it fascinating to learn about great typography? So the answer is, it was beautiful, historical, and artistically subtle in a way that science can't explain. E3, what helped Steve design the first Macintosh computer? The answer is learning about typography. Or you can say the calligraphy class. Either option is fine. So learning about great typography and or the calligraphy class. And E4, did Steve know that the calligraphy class would help him in the future? The answer is no, he did not. He did not know that. And E5, what did Steve say would happen to personal computers if he had not dropped out? So he said they would not have the wonderful typography that they do. Okay. He said they would not have the wonderful typography that they do. Okay. And that is the answers.
Okay, Ante, thank you very much. And so, okay, and today I was going to explain all the grammatical thing on the paragraph, but no, I decided not to because through this whole lesson, I want you guys, I want everyone to think English in English. Okay, so I don't want to make your brain like a Japanese brain. So it's very important to practice to think in English. Okay, read English, textbook and think in English. Okay, every time you translate English into Japanese or translate Japanese into English, that's okay, but it's better to think in English and practice. If you practice a lot, you can do it. So this lesson is the main concept is about listening. Okay, we want to do more speaking, but somehow, I mean, we cannot do it because of the online lesson. Maybe we have an actual class, we'll do lots of speaking lessons, but the main concept is listening. So please listen to our conversation or Ante's lecture, my lecture, and think in English. Okay. But I will explain a little bit of the sentence, the target sentences. Okay, please look at the textbook. All right, I hope you have a textbook with you. All right, and please look at the third paragraph. Okay, and the last one. I found it fascinating. Okay, I found it fascinating. All right, so this is about found it fascinating. So it is fascinating. Okay, okay, little explanation in Japanese. これ第5文型ね、it と fascinating 一緒、SVOC の O イコール C 知ってると思うけど、この第5文型の典型のやつです。で、これに関してね、説明することもできるんだけど、ここでするよりも、自分たちで、調べてやった方がよっぽどいいし、時間を取る必要もないかなと思ったので、いちいち説明するのはやめます。スタディサプリだけがみんなに全中1から高3まで配信されてるそうなんで、それで見る方がよっぽど分かりやすいと思いますので、そっちを見て、さらに分からなければまた聞きます。よね。はい、そして次いきます。Next one is paragraph 4. And none of this had even a hope of any practical use in my life. このね、none of なんだけど、これちょっと覚えてください。none of なんちゃら。Okay? none of なんちゃらで、その後に来るもの、そこの none of、例えば them だったら、彼らの中で誰もいない。ねnone of の後、none of A。A の中で何々もない。ゼロということね。で、これでよく使われるのが none of と、neither、ね。neither ね。neither もしくは neither of A。none of A。この違い何かというと、neither っていうのは2個ね、2つ。で、none of っていうのは3つ以上、その後が。3つ以上のものは何もない。none of、3つ以上。neither of 2つ。この使い分けがあります。ちなみに両方ともその後に来るのは全部単数形。none of は全部単数形。neither of も単数形なので、3単元ついたりね、was、is になったりするよということ。Okay? And lastly, the target sentence was 家庭捕獲完了ね。if のところだ。in the middle of paragraph of the middle of the paragraph 4. If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on the calligraphy class and personal computers ね。 これ家庭放課後完了、これも、文法書だったり、みんなが持ってる B だったり、あとはスタディサプリだったり、そういうので見ればよくわかると思うんだけど、過去に遡って、過去がね、こうだったらよかったのになという場合は家庭放課後完了で表します。で、現在はこうならいいのになっていう、なんていうかね、希望的観測っていうか、そういうのを表すときは、家庭法過去、この違いがありますよってこと。過去の時の、それがこう、過去こうだったらいいのになっていうか、家庭法過去完了ね。現在の場合は家庭法過去ですよ、その違いがあります。詳しい説明はいろいろ動画見たりやってください。ちなみに最近 YouTube で、無料で始まった森哲、東進のカリスマ講師森哲のただ呼びっていうのを、みんな見てると思いますが、それで第一文系から第五文系まで詳しくとか簡単に10分で、めっちゃわかりやすく説明してますので、そういうのを、ね、見るといいかなと思います。Okay, that's all for the points. And lastly, let's have a small conversation, talk on this paragraph. I think the main reason, the main point of this part 2 paragraph is about connecting the dots. So Ante, I have a question. What do you think? Like the connecting dots mean to you? What does that mean to you? Connecting the dots.
So to me, connecting the dots is so if you're talking about yourself, you think about your past, about the things you did, and see how they're all related to each other. So for example, me, like I now live and teach in Japan, right? So if I connect the dots for that, I think one dot is when I was a child, I used to watch Japanese anime. The next dot is in high school, I studied Japanese language. The next dot is in 2005, I traveled to Japan on a school trip. And then, so there's all these different points in my life that led to where I am today.
Yeah, so like connecting dots only like happens in the past, right? Looking back in the, not the future, in the past. That's what Steve says.
Exactly. Yeah.
So for me, like a connecting dots makes like, there's like a dot. If you connect dots, then you can see something in the picture. Have you ever like heard of like a dot painting? Dot painting like is like the picture or like a painting written by like a, lots of dots. Okay, small dots makes like the picture. So connecting dots means if you like collect all the dots, then somehow it will like look like a picture. Yeah, I think that's what like Steve wants to say, connecting the dots. Yeah, maybe I should have a picture with it, but like I forgot, So there's a dot painting. So please Google if you don't know the dot painting. So to me, connecting dots means like it's a dot painting. So even like there's only one dot, that's like just a one dot. But like if you collect all the dots, like a lot of dots, and like connect them together, you see a picture. Okay, that's what Steve's message was to me. Yeah.
Can I show something quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna share my screen. Ooh, can you let me share screen?
Oh, let me say to co-host. All right, I think now you can do it.
Let's see, share screen. So I just did a quick Google search of connect the dots. So here you can see on the right, there's a connect the dots picture. So this is for children. So if they connect the dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in the end, they get a teddy bear. Oh, so if you connect the dots, you can see the bigger picture.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So, and you can only connect the dots looking back in the past, not the future. All right. All right, so that's all for today. And we'll do lesson 2 part 3 tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, part 3 tomorrow. And we don't have a class on Friday because it's a holiday. And next Monday, we'll finish part 4, and that's it. All right, then we'll see what's going to happen, after the Golden Week. All right, so that's all for today. Bye for now. Thank you, Ante.
Thank you.
All right. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.